Just how liquid are American Silver Eagles? Well, about as liquid as the water in that glass. Let's talk about it. YouTube Vertical Stacker here, and today I want to talk about the liquidity of American Silver Eagles. You just saw me in my intro drop a Silver Eagle into this glass of water, representative of how easy it is to sell American Silver Eagles. You know, with this latest price spike in silver, of course, the day I'm taping this, which is February 4th, the price has gone down, which I'm happy to see that as well. But with this recent price hike, it got up to almost $30 an ounce very briefly. And with all of the other market conditions that were going on, as far as the shorting of stocks and things like that, there was just a frenzy, a buildup of people wanting to get into the silver game. And I'm sure there are more underlying reasons than just the things that I've mentioned here. But I took advantage and I sold almost every American Silver Eagle that I had in my stack. Shocking? Perhaps, but hear me out. You know, it was only about 9 months ago, and I'll put the link to the video up here, where I made the single largest bullion purchase that I've ever made. And in that purchase, I also bought 20 tubes of American Silver Eagles. Now, I had been collecting Eagles and stacking Eagles long before then, but in the course of the last 3 days, basically since Sunday, I have sold over 2,000 ounces of American Silver Eagles at a price that I was very, very happy to get. I purchased most of my Silver Eagles between $12 and $18, a little bit more than $18 a piece. And I was able to command a price of $35 per Eagle. Now, I did buy some tubes. Gosh, I can't remember when it was, but I bought 4 or 5 tubes at about $400 a tube, not too terribly long ago. Someone was selling them, and I think he said, no, there's no way anyone would ever buy these at this price, and I'm going to prove it. And he put them up on YouTube for sale, and I bought them all from him. So even those tubes, I'm able to sell now at $700 per tube. And so I made a $300 profit on that tube that I was able to buy for around $400. Now, a lot of you are probably screaming, blasphemy! Stackers don't sell their silver. But wait, maybe there's a reason. Why do we as stackers put so much value on the metal versus that for which we exchange, the fiat, right? What do you pay your mortgage with? That or this? What do you pay your car payment with? That or this? What do you buy food at the grocery store with? So on and so forth. We all have to deal with this fiat currency. As long as it is our currency, it's here to stay and it'll have buying power. Now that's subject to fluctuations and the relative strength of the dollar as compared to other world currencies. But by and large, we've all got to use it. We're stuck with this for now. Doesn't mean that that's not valuable. It just means that sometimes you can exchange these back and forth and make some things happen. And that's what I've done these last 4 days, is I have made some things happen. Because now I have stockpiles of cash that I'm going to be using to what? To revamp my inventory of my stack as the price goes down. I think, and I have absolutely zero basis whatsoever for this other than the lowest form of intelligence, and that is opinion, right? Opinion is, by definition, the lowest form of intelligence speaking, because we all have it, and we've done nothing to earn it necessarily. But my opinion is that we're going to see sub 20 silver again. I really believe that. Many of you are going to think, you're crazy. What are you basing that on? Nothing other than watching the markets for the last 30 years go up and down and up and down and up and down. That's what silver does. It just goes up, and then it goes down, and then it goes up, and then it goes down, just like gold. Now, you might look at a chart over time and see that, between the ups and the downs, it's generally speaking steadily going up. But it seems to me that every 15 or 20 years, we see a spike up to, $35 or $40 an ounce, and then it crashes back down to 15 or 20, and then it goes back up to 25, and then down to 16, and then back up to 20, and so forth. And so I'm just going to wait with my cash, and I'm going to take advantage of those dips. Not rocket science, folks, right? Buy low, sell high. I bought these American Silver Eagles, again, between about $12 and $18 an ounce is probably my dollar cost average. I haven't figured it out. I just don't track it that carefully because it doesn't really matter to me. As long as I know I'm making profit, that's what matters to me. And clearly, I've done pretty well on these particular transactions in the last few days. And by the way, the price that I'm commanding, $35 an ounce, was still well below what I was seeing the online dealers selling them for. So when I contacted some of my local folks here, and I said, hey, I have some Eagles that I'm going to be dumping if you want them, you would not believe the amount of phone calls I received. I mean, there were people calling me out of the woodwork saying, hey, how many rolls can I get today? How many do you have left? And I'm actually shocked that I still had these 7 left, but these were kind of the mixed rolls or rolls that had writing on them. And it's just funny because the Eagles in these rolls are the exact same, BU Eagles that are in every other roll. But because the lid looked funky or maybe the lid was cracked, nobody wanted those, even though what's important was, well, what's on the inside. Highly liquid, folks. Highly liquid American Silver Eagles. And I'll tell you, I was not always on the bandwagon with American Silver Eagles. I'm kind of a fan now. I'm starting to understand why so many people push American Silver Eagles even though they have a higher premium. Because I tell you, even though I paid a premium when I bought these, boy, I got all that premium back and then some later on when the price went up. So I can't complain one bit about having Silver Eagles in my stack. Interestingly, when a lot of these other folks that I talked to over the past 3 or 4 days asked me about what else I had that I might want to sell, I mentioned generic silver, 90%. I'm not selling in my gold ever, so that was not an issue. Okay, not ever. There's always a price that you'll sell it, right? But nobody was interested, even for less money, $30 an ounce, $27 an ounce, $28. Nobody was interested in the generic stuff. They just wanted the Eagles. That said something to me, that in a time where you might need, not necessarily want, but you might need to sell your stack, American Silver Eagles may be a better choice. Now, some of you are going to scream, blasphemy! Generics you get better value for. And I would agree with you. I would agree that for the $700 that folks paid me for these rolls, they could get another, 5 or 6 or 7 ounces of silver versus the American Silver Eagle ounces. They only get 20 for that price. But at the same time, if nobody ever wants to buy them from you, what purpose are they really going to serve? Without talking about all the potential, SHTF situations or, what other, economic collapse situations that could occur. I get that. There's always going to be value, intrinsically or otherwise, in the metals. I get that. But when it comes to liquidation, wow, my eyes have really been opened these last few days. I think one of the reasons also is because, as you know, the American Silver Eagle is backed by the United States government for whatever that's worth, just like the Canadian Maple Leaf is backed by what is the Royal Canadian Mint, and I assume the government because it's a sovereign coin. I think Australia has its own sovereign coin. Mexico has its own sovereign coin in the Libertad. So people seem to have an affinity towards government-backed bullion. That's pretty cool. Even though it has a hefty premium, $35 an ounce for this. I just sold some tubes this morning before making this video, and silver was at what, 25, 50, 20, $6 an ounce. So people are still paying a $9 premium to obtain American Silver Eagles, and that premium is even less than what some folks are charging online. Hey, I just stuck the ad out there. I just gave the word, right? People flocked to it and wanted to buy it. So don't throw me under the bus. I'm just the messenger, but I'm also the fiat collector. I like to collect fiat and then convert that fiat to more of this later on. What have you folks been doing? Did you take advantage of this spike in the price in this last few days? Are you just sitting on it and you're not going to sell it no matter what? Interesting conversations I had with many of these folks over the last few days, and that was, well, I just have some friends and they're telling me that things are happening. They feel real nervous about the economy, and if you're not into metals, you better get into metals. So a lot of mumbling out there, not mumbling, a lot of whispering out there in the community as to what may be to come. Hey, I'll take advantage of that every day. If you want to pay me your fiat for my stack, and it enables me to make a profit, and then I'm going to watch that price go down, 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 and then I use this same fiat to buy more of the same stack, heck yeah, I'll do that all day, every day. And that's what I did here, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Vertical Stacker, take care.